Welcome to my tutorial for 1823 Teeny Garden and Stairway to You. These both are available in my 15-year celebration of needlework book. This is the cross stitch one, and then there's 15 designs in the book, and here's just 2 of them. And these were the 2 that are on the cover of the book. So anyway, I just thought I would share with you how I finished them. If you've seen my finishing before, you already know how I finish them. It's no different than what I've already been showing you, but I know people like to be, you know, maybe you didn't see my other ones. Anyways, moving right along. So what I did is I measured like just an 1/8 beyond this on off, you know, both angles. And then I cut my sticky board. Yes, I use sticky board. Just today, as I was working, I was listening to Fiber Talk with Vanna and Gary. Vanna Pfeiffer and Gary Parr. And Vanna is an amazing finisher. And, you know, she was showing how she does a flat fold. And I was working, so I wasn't really watching it necessarily, but I was listening to it. And she's way more professional than I am. I'm all about speed because I don't have time. I just don't have time to finish all of the things that I do and design, you know, and ship orders, and you know what I mean? So I just use hot glue because of the speed of it. But if you want professional finishing advice, really go and watch. Just Google Vanna. And if you Google Vanna, the Twisted Stitcher comes up. But she was saying that she also has a blog of all her tutorials, written and videos and all of that. So she has a plethora of really nice videos and things, and it's all free. She's very generous with her information. So I did not iron this first, but because I'm using sticky board, it's gonna be fine. So I just cut it so that I have about 1 inch all the way around. I don't worry about measuring it or anything. This one's a little bit longer, but all right. So I already have my pieces of sticky board cut, and all I do is I measure it, and then I use a utility knife for cutting, or if you have a X-Acto knife, you can do that as well. So how I make sure to get it centered is I do this. Let me turn this light off. And then I use this little LED light box. And by having that lit, backlit, I can see exactly where my design's going to be. Okay? So let me grab my knife. Now I stick my knife in at the corner, just kind of stick it in there and pull, and it just helps to get that piece off to reveal the sticky part of the sticky board. And it just never fails. I get something on the sticky board. Another thing you can use a knife for is to get, well, I guess that's just part of the board. Okay, so I only left 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So I know I have to get super tight to the edge. There, okay, okay. Looking pretty decent here. So I can see that this is right to the edge in this side, so I have to pull it this way more. And I haven't pressed down on it, so it's not like super stuck on there. So let's just try that again. This fussy part takes the longest when I'm doing finishing. Alright, so now I'm just going to kind of lay that down and see how we end up on the other side. I still have it down too far, doggone. Okay, we got it that time. Alrighty, I'm just gonna press it on now. So now I'm just gonna go, now this is, you want to make sure you get your corners nice and square. So that's why I do my corners first. I just put a little dab of hot glue there. And I pull that off 4 corners first. So if you're watching this, this means we've already went to market. And market is where not all the designers, but many designers and most stores go to the Nashville Market, where it's only open to, you know, retailers, so it's not open to the public. And that's where they come. It's cash and carry, so the stores come and get all the new stuff that the designers have and buy a bunch of stuff and take it back to the shop for you all. So this is the first year I've done anything like this book. And it's a nervous wreck, y'all. Well, so I have to design, like I usually come out with between 12 and 14 new cross stitch patterns every market, okay? So I had to do that, and then on top of that I had to design 15 more. I mean, the models did not have to be done, but I still had to have them all designed. I still had to pull all the linen and the floss to make sure that the colors were going to work, you know, for the colors and things that I recommended. So it was like double the amount of work that I normally have for my Nashville show. And then, so I've been in the needle arts business for 15 years doing punch needle. I did punch needle for several years before I even did cross stitch. Here's the deal though. So I have a cross stitch book celebrating the 15 years and a punch needle book celebrating the 15 years. I was gonna just do one book and have the punch needle and cross stitch together, but the cost of the book would have been more, and then some people will only do the punch needle and some people will only do the cross stitch. So I thought having 2 separate books would be more affordable for the customer. So there you go. I had to have 15 new punch needle and 15 new cross stitch on top of what I normally release. So it's been a flippin' zoo for me, this Nashville. I don't recommend it. Or I guess maybe I recommend starting earlier or what, I don't know, but it has been so crazy getting ready for market. Plus, every market we run out of, not every design, but some of the designs, you never know which one's going to be the hot one, you know, and we always run out. So when we get home, we have to ship all these orders. We have to, you know, build more inventory and then ship the orders. Well, this year I'm not coming home right after the show. I'm staying down in Nashville with my friend She lives about 15 minutes from where the show is, and because her daughter's getting married this year, and she's having the bachelorette party the weekend after Nashville, and she really wanted me to stay so that I could go with them. She rented this big house and everything for the weekend. It's going to be really fun. So she wanted me to stay down there and do that. So I said, why not? So I'm taking tons more patterns than I normally do, just to make sure I don't run out, because I won't be going directly home in order to fill those orders if I do run out. So yeah, lots of extra added stress this year. All right, so we have this piece done. It's not just the cutest. So what I'm gonna put this one on is this cute little thing that I got at Joann's. I have some fabric here because I wasn't sure if I would need fabric, but on this piece I don't. So how this piece came, this little easel thing, it comes like this. Let me zoom out. It comes like this. It's from Joann Fabric. Make it, love it. Let's see. Sparrow Innovations Incorporated, for decorative purposes only. Anyways, I'm sure you can find this at, you know, Joann, Michaels, or what have you. But it was shiny and I didn't like it shiny, so I put a matte varnish over top of it. To me, it looks more like a chalkboard that way. I don't like shiny. So I really want to use this Lady Dot Creates rickrack. It's called Bird's Nest, and I really wanted to put this around it. But I'm just not sure if it'll look, I think it'll be okay. Let me see. How much room is it going to take up? I actually think it's going to be okay. Yes. Yep, I am doing it. Okay, so let me just set this aside. Let me set this aside. Now, we're going to put our piece down like this. I'm going to hold it where I plan on putting it down, and then I'm going to trim it. So that'll be that piece. To be honest, I should have ironed this first, but y'all, I don't have an iron down here. I've got to fix that situation. Alright, that didn't cut very good. So now we're going to do this. But I recommend ironing it first. This rickrack by Lady Dot Creates, Bird's Nest, is so awesome. Look how, when she dyes it, look how awesome it turns out. It's grungy. I mean, it's just awesome. I love it. Okay, so I'm just going to cut some of this extra fabric off. I don't want any extra bulk on the back, so if you can cut some of it off, do so. Okay. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Just putting a bead of the glue here. And you just want the rickrack, see where it dips down? Where it dips down, that's where you want it, right to the edge there. Trim some of these little. Okay. Now, so like what you want to do is make sure, see how these are up. I flip it over so that they work perfectly. All right, so it matches this linen perfectly, doesn't it? I mean, even just having the two sides done, it's cute. So cute. Now, we take our super cute little easel and we're just going to center it on there. Now, if you have like something, zoom in a little bit. I mean, it's possible you have something that you could put on there or move this up to the top and then write something down here, or have it at the bottom and write something up there, you know, I don't know. So you have some options that way of how you can finish this. But I'm just gonna center it. Okay, so I was just gonna show you. This is the back side of that piece. See how shiny it is? And see what I did? I just put some matte varnish over it. If you don't have matte varnish, if you just have some flat black paint, you could just do that. All right, so I'm just centering this on here. So I'm going to fill the back of it with hot glue. Now, you only get one chance at this, so you want to make sure you have it centered. So you're going to be looking at the back of my head because I have to be right over top of it so I can make sure it's straight and make sure it's centered. Because once I stick it on there, it's done. And there you have it. It's done. Now, this is the next thing I don't know. I was going to stain this, but the color actually doesn't look bad. I was going to make it darker, but the color kind of matches the linen. So I'm going to think on that. So I guess you'll know if I do stain it. I might show a picture of it. But it's super cute the way it is. So it will just, with this easel, see how the easel opens up in the back, and it just stands on a shelf, or, you know, how cute is that? So that's finish number 1. Here's finish number 2. I love, this is called Stairway to You, and it's so stinking blinking cute. These little sheepies are on this like little stair, and then I put 2 little black sheep in there. I just love it so much. And I don't know what the heck I was thinking. This is a big piece of linen. I don't know why I sent her such a big piece of linen, because could have got 2 of these on there. I'll have to be more careful when I send my linen out to my model stitchers. These both were stitched by Mary Schreiner of Michigan. Oh my gosh, she got these. Like, she lives in Michigan and so do I, so she gets them right away. She had one done like 2 days later. She's like, oh look, and she sent me text me a picture. I mean, within a week she had them back to me. It was incredible because she knew I was wanting them for the cover of my book. So she knew time was of the essence. And I cannot get over how fast she stitched these. And also, look at her beautiful work. Her stitches lay absolutely perfectly. And I was like, I need to take lessons from her. Well, as y'all know, I don't stitch, but I want to learn because I just feel it's important. Not that I need another thing to do, but I feel like I would be a better designer if I understood cross stitch. So that's like my goal for 2020 is to learn to cross stitch. Oh, where's the piece I cut out? Oh, right here. Okay, so again, on this one I'm going to actually put it on a book. I have this really cool old book, and I'm going to put it on there. Alright, so we're going to take our knife, poke it in, pull it up. And again, I did the same thing where I have just 1/8 of an inch all the way around it. So right to the edge, pretty much. Okay, so I have this all centered and ready to move on. These LED light boxes, I have them on my Amazon shop. And if I remember, I will put a link below so that you can get one because they are fabulous for getting your work centered. Alright, so basically this is a repeat, so I'll just fast forward it. It's the same thing you just watched me do on the other one. Okay, so I have a new tip for you. Do your corner first and then glue the rest of it down. And keep these little press-on seal things so you don't burn your fingers, and then you can really pull to get your corner tight. See? Now I can just go under and fill in with the glue and get all the rest of it done. Alright, so just to make sure we're still on track for fitting it on this book, gal, same thing. It's just not quite the right shape. I'm gonna go see if I have something else that this might fit on. I'll be right back. So I found a red book that actually fits pretty darn good. So I'm probably going to do the rickrack on this one as well, because it just makes it look so cute. So this is a little antique book. The ball red book. Oh Lord. Oh, it's all about plants. How to sell more bedding plants. This book is dedicated to the memory of the Mrs. Geo J. Ball. Holidays to Remember. This was printed in 1960. 6 years before I was born. It's all about like greenhouses and how cool. Probably this was for people that had that grew flowers for like florists and stuff, because it's got all the holidays, you know, important holidays that you would send flowers and stuff. Huh, interesting. So there you go. So we could do it here. No, we would do it on the back. Okay. Black is out, red is in. Let's try not to screw this one up, Treese. Now, I wonder, do I want to use the same rickrack? I'm just going to go see real quick. So glad that I was persistent in my looking, because look, I have licorice Lady Dots Creates. Pom-pom, mini pom-pom. And this is going to look spectacular around there and then on the red. Okay, yay! Super stoked about that. Let's trim this. Why is this coming off? All right, let's start with the other side. All right, so we're gonna make sure we start with a nice piece here. Just gonna do like, I don't know, a couple inches at a time. If you see like you've got some little straggler pieces of glue, you can go around with the heat tool or heat gun, and they just kind of disappear. So this one had a lot of little, this one gave me fits. It's still kind of giving me fits. Plus, if you reheat, you know, if you made a mistake, you can reheat the glue and move stuff around a little bit. Again, if you want professional finishing, watch Vanna. You're not going to get professional finishing from me. This is just what I do. This is just what I know. So I'm just going to zoom in so you get a good look at what I've done here. Now all I have to do is just put glue on the back and stick this on. So I'm just going to stop it right here, because pretty much you look at the back of my head when I'm gluing it on anyways. I'm just going to flip it over, fill this with hot glue, and make sure you're standing over top of it and you kind of hover it. Like I kind of hold it like this and I hover it until I know I've got it centered. And then I drop it on. And then you have a couple seconds to move it a little bit, but you got to work quick. So anyways, I hope that these presentations were helpful to you, and I hope that you have fun finishing. Take care now. Bye.